Good Friday morning to you all. We have another Watchmen update. Major South American gang leader captured inside the United States, not too far from the White House. Ninja swords banned in the UK because, well, they already tried banning the boomsticks, but people still killing each other. Can you believe that? Apple tries to defend Google's search monopoly. It's an upside-down weird world. High-level threats against Europe, from usual sources. 10,000 people fired at Health and Human Services, so Pfizer and the other drug companies are going to have to up their hiring game for sure. And the Chinese have had a fundraiser for Kamala's old vice presidential candidate. Anybody remember Tim Walz? Yeah, good times, good times. I underscore the name old in there. Traffic cams. We need to talk about Walmart antifreeze shrinkflation, weird chicken, and more reports come from you guys. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. Please do keep them coming in. Make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. It can be on this video or on any video on this channel that gets it to the right place. Also down in the pinned comment is the deal of the day. Try to save you some money there. Stuff that I buy usually. Before we go any further, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts to get out of the stock market. I've been suggesting that for a little bit now, but you do you. But if you're concerned about the market like I am, then Jonathan and his team can show you what it looks like for you to get out of this all and get into physical metals like gold, silver, or platinum. Platinum might be a good buy right now since it hasn't been going up very much, and it's often linked to gold over the long haul. There'll be a link at the end of the video if you want to find out more about that. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has cut 10,000 employees at the Health and Human Services. Now, this is a major overhaul of the health agencies. And of course, with a revolving door, don't shed too many tears for these folks, because all of them that are involved in drug approvals and stuff like that, you know they're going to get hired by those drug companies like tomorrow. So for the people that don't land good jobs because they didn't give favors to the special interests, kudos to them. But how many are there really these days? I don't know. But we're going to see. We're going to see how things go. Top-level MS-13 gang leader arrested by the FBI in Virginia, not too far from the White House in Washington, D.C., right in the backyard. It's amazing how the FBI wasn't able to find this guy, like, right in their backyard. And ICE has begun targeting foreign students on college campuses who have been acting out on pro-Hamas protests nationwide, because that violates their visa and their terms of visa, especially acting out violently in political protests. That definitely violates like 3 different terms of their visa and means that they should be deported. So, 2 birds with 1 stone. It gets the political protests, and they're not really political protests, they're political riots, more under control, and makes it a safer environment for Jewish students across the United States, as well as gets people undesirables out of the country. Because we do not need more violent people here in the United States. We got plenty of woke nonsense happening already. We don't need more of that. Apple has been rejected and blocked from presenting at the Google antitrust hearing, where $20 billion worth of search is at stake. Google, of course, the biggest search engine in the world, but interestingly enough, you didn't know this, Apple powers its search engine using Google. So if you're like, I'm not going to search on Google, I'm going to go over to Safari on an Apple device. Well, good luck with that, because you're really just using Google. Yeah, in case you didn't know that, FYI, it all goes back through Google. Even DuckDuckGo, which is better, and some of these other search engines, they use search engines like Yahoo. They use search engines like Bing. Just because you see a different web page doesn't mean that the search engine behind the web page isn't one that you've heard of already. All right, Russia threatens Britain and France, because of course they did, with a bloodbath, warning that their support of the Ukraine could lead them to this bloodbath. Talks are kicking off in Paris about more stuff that Europeans can do to support Ukraine, and Russia's not happy about it at all. Speaking of violence, the United Kingdom has banned ninja swords. Assault swords, I guess, would be. They didn't say assault swords, but that's what they meant. You know, high capacity ninja swords or whatever. Because apparently their boomstick bans haven't really been so effective. People are still trying to kill each other with other things. Seems like you might have more of a human problem there than a weapon problem. Funny how that works. Mass stabbings happening across Europe in gun-free zones. All that it really comes down to is that weaker and smaller people have less ability to defend themselves. Just think about that one. Boomsticks are a great leveler. A small, tiny, old person with a boomstick can take on a really, really big dude. But when you take the boomstick away from that senior citizen, they have no chance at all. Zero chance at all. Especially when you take the boomstick away from the police officers, too. Anyway, the Chinese Communist Party security liaison officer hosted a fundraiser for vice presidential candidate Tim Walz. Yeah, that's happening in Minnesota, and they're not even trying to hide it. The Chinese Communist Party is throwing a fundraiser for a Democratic previous vice presidential candidate. I wonder how far in advance that was planned. Like, maybe they promised to do that and they were going to get special treatment. Quid pro quo? I don't know. Someone should ask him. If we had a media, an independent media in this country, someone would ask him. You'd think, right? Like, what are you getting in return for this? Madam K says Northeast Wisconsin, Appleton, Green Bay, and Wasau have put in cameras at every stop and go light. I've even noticed some four-way stop signs having cameras on the light poles. I was told if you have glasses and a hat on the camera, it was hard for them to pull up your facial recognition files, as the glasses throw a glare and the hat blocks the head shape. Not sure if this is true or not, but your license plate will give you away regardless. Big Brother is watching us now. Now, this is not legal advice. Not legal advice coming from here. But did you know that they have these appliques that if you stick on like something like a, just for an example, like a license plate, you can't see it coming down from an angle, but if you're right behind it and you look straight on, you can see the license plate and it looks normal. But if you're looking down at an angle, like say from, a camera on a pole, it can't see the license plate. Like I said, not legal advice, just letting you know that there's a product out there that might or might not be legal in your state. Just food for thought. Thug says, I went to Joann Fabric in Northeast Oklahoma to see if they had any sewing machine needles left, but they were cleaned out. Joann Fabric, no machine needles? Like crazy, huh? Most of the needles were gone, but they still had a lot of fabric and useless seasonal decor. I went next door to Hobby Lobby and bought the last few packs of sewing needles that they had, and their formerly way overpriced drawer pools were on clearance for 99 cents. Inventory was very low, even there, and most of it was useless, worthless decor. Not sure if the employees are aware, but their store is next. Mark my words. Joanne Fabric. There's not a lot of people still sewing and knitting out there. And it's getting harder to find those supplies. So if you want to be self-sufficient in these type of areas, make sure that you're stocking up as these stores are going out of business, friends. Nyla says, Southwest Michigan. My husband just informed me that the fresh gallon Walmart brand straight antifreeze, which should be 4 quarts, that he bought was short of quantity. He divided it up into another jug. Instead of 2 quarts in each jug, it ended up being 1 to 1.5 quarts each. Thus, he complained that he was short about 1 quart out of the 4 quarts. Check those. Don't assume they're the same size as they used to be, whether that's food or whether that's any kind of supplies these days. Don't assume, because they're shrinking bottles and not telling you. It used to be a gallon jug, and now it's like it's not quite a gallon anymore. If it doesn't explicitly say it on the bottle, and even when it explicitly says on the bottle, look how full the bottle is. They're playing all sorts of games out there, friends, and we got to adapt and get smarter too in order to beat them at their own games. Boone says, Lakeland, Florida. Tractor Supply chicks sell out as soon as they arrive. My wife, buying feed, heard the employee telling 3 different calls in less than 5 minutes that they don't have any chicks and don't know when they'll get any. For those waiting or wanting chicks to get an incubator, I have a 50 egg one, but typically only half fill it. I just hatched 23 chicks out of 28 eggs put in. There are incubators of various sizes. For eggs, just find a local farmer that has roosters in the flock. Get unwashed eggs from them. It takes 21 days to hatch. So that's how you can get your own, right? Also, there are tons of chicken groups on Facebook. When Facebook doesn't allow them to openly advertise or sell them on posts, most of them will let you see them. So if you want to go see some eggs or see some chicks, that is code for you might be able to make a cash offer when you're there. Just know that lots of bartering goes on from there. They may sell you a container with chicks accidentally left in the container. All right, friends, be smart. Work your way around the systems. I know it's stupid stuff. Why Facebook won't let you just buy chicks or anything like that? It's dumb, but play the games. Play the games and thrive and prosper in this brave new world. And the more we resist by playing these games around the system makes their efforts to rule us very, very difficult. Brian says, Northeast Pennsylvania, no internet or Wi-Fi at my residence currently. Paid my toll with PennDOT, a form letter. After hours on the phone, trying for many days, I paid the penalties. Total requested, many fraud alerts in the first few days. Had to cancel my debit card. Waiting for a new one. Now I get a letter threatening my license for $3 from PennDOT. That's the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, from their toll department. Can't they add? Need a state Doge program here pronto. Indeed, state of Pennsylvania is out of control. It's like California, but not quite as bad. We're getting there, though. A Watchmen says, I live in ranch country, Texas, and sell my extra farm eggs. People have no problem paying $20 a dozen these days for farm brown eggs. No white eggs. White eggs don't sell here. And friends, if you're looking at it and you see brown eggs and you see white eggs at the farm, if they're coming from free range and everything like that, and the white eggs are cheaper, get the white eggs. I promise you, they're the same on the inside. That's the dirty secret out there, that the difference between brown eggs and white eggs is that the brown eggs have brown in the shell. That's it. They're not more nutritious. And people get all bent out of shape about brown eggs. Now, free-range brown eggs are better than, like, factory white eggs. That's the truth. But free-range white eggs are better than factory brown eggs, and there are plenty of factory brown eggs. So check into that for yourself. Don't take some random dude on the internet's opinion on that, but hopefully that gets you pointed in the right direction. You can search for it yourself. Jenny says, bought boneless, skinless chicken breasts at Publix. There's your first mistake. That upon opening, the package was super low quality and discolored on the unseen side. Same product at Lowe's Foods was full of cloudy water, and the ones at Harris Teeter were bloated, and the packages full of air and looking slimy. Super disgusting. Finally, I tried Lidl, and the chicken was very good. I'm in central North Carolina. Hey, when you find a place that actually has decent chicken, keep buying from them. Please keep buying from them, because these big box stores, they're getting this stuff from all sorts of weird places, and who knows what's inside of it. And I'm hearing a lot of rumors out there that it's not all live chickens and stuff. So I don't have any way of verifying those stories, but I'm hearing from a lot of you guys that the consistency of your chicken has gotten weird. The cheap stuff has gotten weird out there. Gammy says, the Dollar General near me remodeled. They added more freezer sections, but there was very little toilet paper, and the section for toilet paper has been shrunk. We're going to have another toilet paper run? I don't know. Paul says, I went to Fairway last night looking for T-bone. They didn't have any and won't have any in a while. This is in Iowa. Karen Ann says, this time last year I lived in Washington State. Don't knock it. I'd moved back yesterday to Georgia, and I purchased the smallest roll of chicken wire for $3.95 in Washington. Last spring, yesterday, I purchased the same wire for a small job, $21.95 for the same roll. I have the receipt. Eastern Washington State is fantastic, great people up there. Western Washington is gorgeous, but it's full of all sorts of weirdos. Ellen says, we went to Aldi's. They had no cat food, no honey mustard, and no cat litter. We went to Poughkeepsie, New York. They are across the Hudson River from each other, and they had 2 bags of cat food. We took those. They had litter, and we took that. They had no honey mustard, and there were no eggs in the store. It was Sunday and packed. People were buying like they hadn't been in a grocery store for a month, just places wiped out. Northern Nancy says, West Alice, Wisconsin. Dollar Tree on 76th and Oklahoma had huge empty areas, nothing in the aisles, and no delivery truck in the parking lot. I think they're going to increase prices, have stocked up on cleaning supplies. B. Shake says, if you Google your state and the number 511, so just like Pennsylvania, 511, Arizona, 511, you can find your state's Department of Transportation. I tried it, and it worked for a bunch of the ones I plugged in. Your Department of Transportation site with traffic information like crashes, detours, and closures, and can view cameras that are along the highway. As far as intersections go, most of those cameras are from private companies that sell services to cities and townships. Some of the cameras are license plate readers, but can be used to look for, say, a blue car with a sticker on the back that says whatever. The other cameras record and can be played back to, say, view a crash. People don't realize how many crashes are out there. It's crazy. If you have a police scanner, you can listen to the crashes in your area. A nurse says, check the number of your pills once received. I received 2 prescriptions yesterday, one for antibiotics and one for Lyrica. Upon counting, I was missing 3 days of antibiotics and 10 pills of Lyrica. This is the first time I have actually counted the medication because I know that it's controlled. They're supposed to do a double count when it's controlled. I'm a nurse and I counted them and I was 10 short. I was putting my daughter's antibiotics in her pill box and noticed that the count was off by 3 days. So I went down there and was told that they were sorry and could give me the 3 days of antibiotics. But I had to talk to the manager about the controlled one. They checked the cameras and counted the pills over the cameras again and realized that I counted correctly and that they did not. So, count and raise a fuss if you need to, friends. Please keep them accountable. You need to be your own best advocate when it comes to your health and everything else like that. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. Just tap it, fill out your information, and they'll send you some information. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.